I've decided to use these 8-inch forms to create a concrete basis for the ramp. So the tubes come in 4-foot sections. Now I'm just using a little device that I made to, hold on. I've decided to use concrete forms to create the base for the ramp. And I use these 4-foot long sections of form, and then I'm using this little jig that I've got where you just you know, have a pen mark and it rotates around and creates a line. And then I just use a saw and a jigsaw to cut out and make 4 1-foot sections out of each 4-foot long tube. These tubes are 8 inches in diameter, and I'm going to use a total of 16 of these concrete forms to create the base for the ramp. You can start the hole along the line by using just a regular old handsaw, and then once you get the handsaw, you can finish it off with a jigsaw. And once you do it with the handsaw, you can finish it off. Okay, at this point we start laying out where we're going to lay the ramp. We put in spikes in the ground where eventually we're going to lay some lines to make sure all the lines are level with each other. So you put 4. Start with 4 in the corner where you're going to be putting in the ramp. Then you got to go across each line and make sure that they're all level. So we're just in the process of making sure every line is level with each other, and then you lay the spikes to the depth that you want the ramp to lay at. Now that I laid out and leveled the lines, I can start putting my cylinders in where I'm going to put the concrete formers. So now I can take out these middle posts that I've lined up the lines on the outside. So I can take out the middle posts and one by one pull out a middle post, put in a former, and fill in the concrete former. The important thing is that the distance between this corner over here and the distance between on the opposite corner is the same as the distance between this corner and the distance between that corner. That makes sure that it is exactly square. In this case, we're 24 feet long right there, and 24 feet from this point to that point, and then 12 feet across. So as long as you make sure that your distances to the sides are the exact same, and your lengths are the exact same on both sides, 24 and 12, and your distance between your opposite corners, here and here, and there, are exactly the same, or within 1/4 inch, then you know that the ramp formers and foundations will be square, and the ramp will sit squarely on the ramp. Then of course all the lines also have to be level, so you make sure that you put a level across that line, and this line, and make sure that they're all level together. Okay, here the guys are mixing the concrete. We're mixing 2 80-pound bags at one time, and then we're going to fill it into the formers, which we have lined up with the strings. We're going to fill each former and then move on and make some more concrete. Hard work, huh, guys?
Yeah.
4 corners done. Got concrete poured in the first 4 corners. We got the lines drawn up, and now we're starting to put on the middle one. So that we got the 4 corners done. We're mixing more concrete there, and we're going to fill in the other 2 posts. You got to be careful not to put too much water in the concrete like we did. But I think we learned our lesson for the next foundation pours. Only 12 more to go. Okay, we finished the foundation structures yesterday, and now they're cured overnight, and you can see what they look like. Now that they're done, got them all nice and level, we're going to put some bricks in between them, just some regular concrete blocks in between them to help support the ramp in between these foundations. Okay, now we've completed putting in the cinder blocks in between the poured foundations to give it extra support. So now basically we have support every 4 feet throughout the entire project. Cinder blocks are just laid on the ground, impacted nice and hard on hard ground, using a stomper pounder like that to pound it down, and then made sure that all the cinder blocks are level with the poured foundations, so that when we lay down the ramps, it'll be nice and level. Okay, now we brought out the first ramp section. Now we're going to build 5 more sections, ramp sections, and then the flat bottom. We're going to bring them up one at a time, put them on the footings, and then cover it. We just keep building the ramp sections and keep putting them into place. 2 down, 4 to go. Okay, end of the day, we got 3 sections done. We got a whole one side of the ramp done. All we gotta do is build 3 more ramp sections for the other side, build the flat bottom, and we're ready to deck it. What do you say, guys? Yeah. There's some enthusiasm for you. Okay, here they are making the trek back to the backyard, putting the last segment into place. So this will be the last training that we're gonna have to do after this. We're gonna put the
Yeah, the tarp's in the way.
Finish the middle thing. It's okay, I'll fix it in a second.